Today we're going to be reading a story called A Feast of the Senses. How can you use your senses to help you prepare a feast? A feast is a big meal eaten at a party or a festival. This week we've been learning about our five senses. So we're going to look at these pictures and find out how you can use your senses at a feast. The kitchen is one of the most popular rooms in any home. This is because the smells, sights, and sounds from a kitchen tell us what we are about to eat. In many cultures, people celebrate special events with a feast. It can take days to prepare all the food. Many people start learning to cook at a young age. They use all five of their senses: smell, touch, sight, hearing, and taste to become good cooks. Learning to cook takes some practice. Get ready for a feast of the senses. Which sense do you think we will use first? Where are these people in this picture? What are they doing? When you cook, your sense of smell is very important. Good cooks smell different spices, such as pepper and cinnamon, to figure out what flavors go together best. Your sense of smell and touch tell you when food is fresh. When you shop for a fruit or vegetable, you smell it and feel it to make sure that it is ripe. For instance, if a lime is too hard, it is not ripe enough. If it is very soft, it is probably too ripe. If it smells fresh and feels firm, you will want to buy it. Your sense of touch tells you when food is ready to be put in the oven. As you can see, a woman is making bread for the feast. As she works the dough with her hands, it feels tough and lumpy at first. Then, after she kneads it more, it feels soft and smooth. Kneading is when a person mixes something together with their hands. Her sense of touch tells her that the bread is ready to bake. So, what do we notice in these pictures? Here we have the woman kneading the bread. She's using her sense of touch. And then we have different fruits and vegetables and spices used for cooking. What do you think, or how do you think the foods will be used? Sizzle. Fresh onions are poured into a hot frying pan. Blub, blub, blub. A pot of soup simmers on the stove. Ding! The oven timer goes off. Cooks are always using their sense of hearing. Different sounds tell them what is happening to the food as it cooks. The sounds of cooking also tell cooks when to begin the next step in the recipe. When the sizzle of the onions turns into a soft hiss, the onions are cooked. Sight is another helpful sense in the kitchen. Raw onions are white or yellow, while cooked onions are clear. Sight is also very helpful to bakers. For example, when a baker looks in the oven, she can see that the dough has risen and turned brown. The bread is finished baking. Your five senses give you information about your cooking all the time. All you have to do is pay attention. How do you think the bread smells? Have you ever smelled fresh bread baking in the oven, or cookies or brownies? You can always tell when they're almost finished. Now it's time for the sense you have probably been waiting for: taste. After all, eating is all about enjoying the taste of food, right? Here's a special secret about cooking. When you prepare a feast, you get to taste the meal along the way. Cooks use their sense of taste to test the flavors of the foods as they cook. That way, they could add more spices, cook a dish for a bit longer, or make other changes to the recipe. Finally, it's time for the feast to begin. The guests are hungry. They are eager to explore all the different kinds of food. If the cooks used all of their senses well in the kitchen, everyone will be happy. So notice the picture. What are the people doing? They're getting ready to enjoy the feast, aren't they? Which senses do you think they are using? Will they be using their sense of touch? Will they be using their eyes? Will they be using their ears and their mouth to taste? I bet these guests are using all 5 of their senses.